Martha?
So the State Department also scrambling to explain nearly 15,000 new emails that were uncovered by the FBI, which Hillary Clinton never turned over to the State Department.
She said that she confirmed for the court that she had handed over, or believed that she had handed over, all of the work-related emails that were contained on ClintonEmail.com that were in her custody, that she believed were potentially federal records. And she provided all of those, as I said, that were in her possession to the department. The FBI, obviously, in the course of its investigation, seems to have found other documents.
Tucker Carlson is editor of The Daily Caller, co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend, and a Fox News contributor. Tucker, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Hey, Martha.
You know, I mean, it's very difficult when you have a separate server where you're sort of running your own off-site government entity that is processing stuff for the foundation and for the State Department. I mean, the fact that everyone's just supposed to accept that this is fine and that she said she turned it over but she didn't, and there's thousands more of them that they're finding out there, and we're just supposed to laugh it off on Jimmy Kimmel and just pretend like there's no there, or at least nothing to talk about or look at, is quite striking.
Well, it's a tragedy. I mean, it discredits not simply Hillary Clinton and her presidential campaign, but the U.S. government. I mean, she ran the State Department, and they allowed this, and now you're watching State Department flacks have to spin for her. The whole thing is gravely embarrassing to the country. It makes our government look incompetent and third world, and for good reason. And by the way, does anybody think that this is the end of it? I mean, 15,000 new emails that nobody knew about last week? What comes next? What's in those? I mean, you see what I'm saying? So this is going to be a story that unfolds for years, and it has all kinds of very sad implications. And keep in mind, Hillary Clinton, as of today, is likely to be the next president of the United States. What does that mean? It means it's going to be pretty hard for her to dodge this story if elected, and that's bad for all of us.
Evidencing further attempts by Hillary Clinton to thwart the letter of the law, the FBI has discovered close to 15,000 additional emails and documents from her tenure as Secretary of State, which her attorneys conveniently failed to disclose. This means the cache of information from Clinton's personal server is nearly double the size she originally claimed. A federal judge has now urged the State Department to begin releasing the email and document collection much earlier than mid-October as currently planned. As Bloomberg reports, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg on Monday ordered the State Department to process that first batch of records by September 22 and report back to him that day. Judicial Watch, which filed the lawsuit for the release of the emails, had been infuriated over the previously planned October 14 target for a weekly phased delivery. "We're pleased the court accelerated the State Department's timing," said Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton on Monday, as quoted by The Washington Post. "We're trying to work with the State Department here, but let's be clear, they have slow-walked and stonewalled the release of these records. They've had many of them since July 25. And not one record has yet been released, and we don't understand why that's the case." In the Director James Comey's announcement, the FBI would not recommend the Department of Justice pursue charges against Clinton over her extremely careless handling of classified information on the notorious personal server. He hinted at a number of work-related emails held back by attorneys. But the 14,900 emails and documents uncovered by the agency nearly double in size what attorneys had claimed were all of Hillary's work-related emails. In response to today's announcement, State Department spokesman Mark Toner reiterated the voluntary release of information from the period of 2009 through 2013 didn't include tens of thousands of documents which needed to be carefully appraised at State to separate those of personal versus official nature. State has not yet had the opportunity to complete a review of the documents to determine whether they are agency records or if they are duplicative of documents State has already produced through the Freedom of Information Act, Toner explained. "We cannot comment further as this matter is an ongoing litigation." Fitton rebuked the explanation, telling reporters after today's hearing, "The State Department has concocted a completely new review program under the Freedom of Information Act that we've never heard before." Though this enormous addition to the document cache was transferred from the FBI to the State Department on August 5, the actual size had been unknown until Monday's announcement. As the Post reports, government lawyers disclosed last week that the FBI has turned over 8 computer disks of information, one including emails and attachments that were sent directly to or from Clinton, or to or from her at some point in an email chain, and were not previously turned over by her lawyers. A second with classified documents, another with emails returned by Clinton, and 5 containing materials from other people retrieved by the FBI. According to Fitton, the 14,900 documents come just from the first disk. Also today, Representative Lamar Smith, chair of the Committee on Science, Space and Technology, issued subpoenas to 3 private companies responsible for implementing and running Clinton's personal server, the Post reports. Smith and Senator Ron Johnson, who heads the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs panel, are conducting a probe into whether or not the server met federally recommended standards for cybersecurity and records preservation. Companies providing services to Secretary Hillary Clinton's private email account and server are not above the law, Smith said, noting the intention of the probe was to inform potential policy changes and prevent similar debacles in the future. Judging from previous releases from the Clinton email files, the content will likely reveal yet more explosive information, but until the release, that remains purely a matter of informed conjecture. Read more at http://thefreethoughtproject.com/FBI-Clinton-